The landlord said every time she come to get her utility check, she always have the baby with her. She said that the last time the baby was with her was January 7th when she came to pick it up. And when she came to pick it up for this month, the baby was not with her. Somebody seen her on Valentine's, which was Saturday. And that usually see her with the baby and get a baby candy and all this type of stuff or whatever. And said that he asked her, "You missing something?" And she said, like that or whatever. First he told her Happy Valentine's. She said, "Happy Valentine's," all happy, he said. So he said, "You missing something?" She said, And he said, "What a little pretty little baby." And she said, "I don't know," and said she just walked off real quick. He said, but he wasn't thinking nothing like that, until he seen what happened today. So far, they have the FBI's here, the marshals here, everything. When I say everything is here, everything is here. They did bring a rug out the house. The rug did have blood on it. She does hair, y'all. And she was doing somebody's hair and they smelled something foul in there. But they didn't think it was nothing like that. And she didn't say nothing about it, she said. But they went in before they reported missing, they went in and bleached stuff, all you.
Her mother says she was missing, but police say she never was. This is the heartbreaking case of 2-year-old Genesis Reid, a case that has shocked an entire community and is now going viral across the country, because what investigators are alleging is hard to even process. Genesis Reid was just 2 years old, a baby described as sweet, innocent, and completely dependent on the people around her. She lived in Enterprise, Alabama with her mother, Adrienne Reid, 33 years old. But behind the scenes, investigators now believe something much darker was happening. At the end of February 2026, Adrienne Reid reported her daughter missing. She told authorities she hadn't seen Genesis and didn't know where she was. But almost immediately, something didn't sit right. Because according to investigators, it had been over 50 days since anyone had actually seen Genesis alive. This wasn't a recent disappearance. Police began to suspect Genesis had been gone much longer. As detectives started digging deeper, they began reviewing surveillance footage, and what they found changed everything. Authorities say they observed movements and behavior that did not match a missing child scenario. They also had uncovered inconsistencies in the mother's statements, and piece by piece, the story began to fall apart. According to investigators, Genesis Reid was likely killed on Christmas Day, 2025, a day that's supposed to be filled with joy. Instead, police say it may have been the day her life ended. And what they allege next is extremely disturbing. Authorities believe Genesis was placed inside a duffel bag and thrown into a dumpster. No proper goodbye, no burial, no answers. Right now, investigators are searching a landfill, hoping to find any trace of Genesis. But as of now, her body has not been recovered. And that makes this case even more painful, because there still is no closure. In March 2026, Adrienne Reid was officially charged with capital murder and abuse of a corpse, charges that reflect just how serious these allegations are, and prosecutors are even considering the death penalty. This case leaves people asking so many questions. Why wait over 50 days to report her missing? What really happened inside that home? And will Genesis ever be found? And because there's no body recovered yet, many are wondering, will justice still be served? Genesis was only 2 years old. She deserved safety. She deserved protection. And now, An entire community is left searching, not just for answers, but for her.
Horrific conclusion that her mother willfully murdered Genesis and placed her in a duffel bag and discarded her in a dumpster.
This makes me sick. The Enterprise Police Department announced Monday that Adrienne Reid has been charged with first-degree murder and desecration of a corpse in connection with the death of her daughter, Genesis Reid. The news came on what would have been Genesis Reid's third birthday. On February 16th, Adrienne reported her daughter Genesis missing from their apartment on Apache Avenue. Police stated Reid told officers the toddler had walked out the front door that evening, and a subsequent search yielded no clues. The next day, Reid was arrested on felony charges for allegedly making a false report to law enforcement. Detectives discovered Genesis had not been seen by anyone since Christmas.